Hello guys, welcome to my lesson today. In this video, we will learn about the quadratic equation, one of the most difficult topics in the mathematics about the A-level, IB, AP, or Igcse. So, about the quadratic equation, you have to learn how to solve the quadratic equation and how to graph quadratic equation. So firstly, I want to remind you about what is the quadratic equation. The equation you have a second degree about, for example, a squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. We call this one is the quadratic equation. So you have to differentiate between the y equal to mx plus c. The equation y equal to mx plus c or mx plus c equal to 0 is the linear equation. So the degrees of the variable in the linear equation is 1. The degree equal to 1. But the maximum degree of the quadratic equation is x power to 2. It means the variance has to be second degree. And the condition of the quadratic equation is means the number of times with the x square here have to be different to 0. So when you got the equation like this, the number of times with the x square is the value of a, the number of times with the x equal to value of b, and the constant number is standalone equal to c. For example, when I got the equation like this, so from this one I will define a equal to 3, b equal to 2, and c equal to 3. That's quite easy to recognize what is the value of a, b, and c. Okay, so how can you solve this quadratic equation? The quadratic equation has the formula to solve, and just quite remember exactly the formula of this one. The first one I want to give you the new definition is a discrimination. It means I calculate delta. The delta will be b squared minus 4ac. b is a number times with x. For a is a number times with the x squared, and c is a number standalone. So after you got the delta here, you will have the three cases about the delta. The first one, delta is greater than 0. So when delta greater than 0, we have this is a second degree, so it have to be the two solution of the quadratic equation. The first one we call it x1, and the formula of the x1 is minus b plus square root of delta, and all of them divided by 2a, and h2 equal to minus b minus square root of delta divided by 2a. This is the formula of the h1 and h2. It means solution 1 and solution 2 of this quadratic equation. The case 2 is delta equal to 0. So when delta equal to 0, so we got that square root of delta will be equal to 0. So the difference between h1 and h2 is nothing. So you will have that the h1 equal to h2 and equal to minus b over 2a. So we call this case is a repeated solution. And this one we call it the distinct solution. Okay, so the last case is delta less than 0. So you remember about the formula of the solution of quadratic equation. You have a square root here. So the condition for the square root it can be exists if delta has to be greater than or equal to 0. But this case delta less than 0, so this one can be exist. So this one can be exist. And then you will have no solution about this case. You will have no solution about this case. So remember all. So let me summarize about the formula quadratic equation solution. The first one you have to find the delta. It means the decreasement. And delta equal to b squared minus 4ac. And you have to define so whether delta positive, 0, or negative. So when the delta have be greater than or 0, it will be equal to h1. You will have the h1 solution and h2 solution. Delta equal to 0, it means the square root of delta equal to 0. So you will have the repeated solution. It means you only have one solution. And when delta less than 0, it means you have no solution. Okay? This is the formula. So after that, we will apply the formula to each exercise. So what is the difference in the graph when you want to graphing the quadratic equation? The quadratic equation in a lot of cases. But when you find the h1 and h2, it means you find the value of h for y have to be equal to 0. I mean, I call this function equal to fx or I or y. So when you have the value of h1 and h2, it means the which value of variable will take the y value equal to 0. So if you want to graph this one, you have to divide by two cases. The first one is a greater than 0 and b and a less than 0. So the general form of the quadratic equation is a parabola, like this or like this. And you can easily to recognize that the parabola will have a symmetry line in the middle. So I will divide all of them by two parts. If a greater than 0, it means one part of the right hand side part have to be increasing, and of course the remaining have to be decreasing. This is the formula. This is the form of the graph when a greater than 0. And when you got the a less than 0, it means the right hand side part of the parabola has to be decreased. So this one will be decreased. And how about the line in the middle? We call the line in the middle is symmetry line. Symmetry line. It means the line will have the reflection between the two parts of the parabola. It means this part will be reflection by this part, and of course this part has to be reflection with this part. Can you understand? And the formula of the symmetry line is x equal to minus b over 2a. So remember, x equal to minus b over 2a is the symmetry line formula in the quadratic equation. Yes, write down in your notebook and remember. Learn by heart. So come back to the definition of the y equal to fx, and you got the fx is a secondary variable. It means the quadratic equation. So when this function equal to 0, you will got the h1 and h2 equal to some value. Okay, so when you graph this one, the value of h1 and y1 will make the value of y be equal to 0. It means, for example, this is h1 and this is h2. It means when the quadratic equation have the two solutions, it will be have a two x-intercept with the x-intercept axis. So when we have the delta, in this case, you remember the condition of the delta has to be greater than 0. So when you got delta equal to 0, it means the quadratic equation have only one solution, one repeated solution. So that parabola has only one y-intercept. x-intercept. We got this false solution h1 equal to h2. And another case when delta less than 0, it means the function has no solution, and it means this function will have the no x-intercept with the x-axis. Okay, two solution is mean two x-intercept point. One solution is mean one x-intercept point, and no solution is mean no x-intercept point. Okay, and corresponding to the delta less greater than 0, two solution, delta equal to 0 equal, so one solution, and delta less than 0, no solution. Okay, that is all general knowledge about the quadratic equation, how can you solve and how can you graphing. And after this, we've been applying each knowledge here for the practicing.